Let's dive into the full narrated chapter 1151 of One Piece. Ready? Then let's go, right after the intro. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Before we get into today's content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you won't miss anything. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Cover page. Alright, I get it now. Cover story, The Ceremonial Pilgrimage of Yamato, the Ogre's Daughter. Volume 35, Tanbaito Sumo Tournament. Urashima's brother, Yokozuna Sugune, is thrown far away. Page 1. Narration. Dory and Bragi have also been corrupted? The chapter begins with Kashi trying to stop Dory and Bragi. He says, "Wait, chiefs, it's Jirul, the world's oldest legendary warrior." Oimo says, "Are these still our comrades, Kashi?" Kashi replies, "Yes, they are, Oimo." Then Bragi, in his demonic form, or perhaps Imu speaking through him, says, "Warriors once revered are now mere stones on the path. Therefore we shall deliver the final judgment." Page 2. Dory declares, "I will be the king of Elbaf. We don't need unnecessary faith. Let the era of war be reborn. For now begins the age of true dominators." Kashi and Oimo exclaim, "You can't be serious. What's happened to you? It's as if you've been completely corrupted by demons." Another giant is captured. Simultaneously, we see a white piece surrounded by black pieces in the game Reversi, symbolizing the current situation. The giant says, "Damn, I've been surrounded. No, please don't transform me." Sound of a piece flipping. Note, wasn't this the game CP0 was playing in Onigashima? Page 3. The transformed giant says, "Oh, what a wonderful feeling. I feel at my peak." Someone shouts, "Retreat." Ripley says, "Wait for me, : Rika-chan will definitely save you." Amidst screams, and chaos, "Yarsan, this can't be true. The band of giant warriors has turned into demons." Route 8. We see the children, now asleep, still walking. However, they're having nightmares about demons, likely influenced by the giant's terrified screams. Pages 4 and 5, double spread. A giant comments, "Seems Gabon was defeated by the enemy." Another giant says, "Is that serious? We're at a disadvantage in this battle." Narration. Nightmare Pit. From this pit, more nightmare demons emerge. We see Killingham's hybrid form. He says, "If your lordship is here, then we don't need to hold back. Look, Elbaf, these are the demons you created. MMAs destroy away everything you want. Yes, be born. Elbaf's nightmare won't end." Page 6, Nami says, they're becoming much more numerous. Jinbe says, "This is getting completely out of control." Usopp says, "Master Dory, Master Bragi, what are you doing to your own homeland? Open your eyes." Crying, Usopp says, "What kind of form is this? There's no pride in it at all." Some giants who reach the children say, "Driga, now I understand why Master Saul couldn't do anything. The children are surrounded by invisible thorns." One of them shouts Ylva's name. One giant collapses, foaming at the mouth. The other says, "I can't afford to faint now. We'll save you, children. Hang in there." Note the giant shouting, "This is a woman," probably the so-called scary mother. Page 7, Summers says, "Your Excellency, how far will we go?" Killingham says, "The battlefield is already our color." They continue. "The battlefield is filled with malice. If we leave it like this, they'll end up self-destructing." Emu says, "We'll continue until she gives in." Someone asks, "Give in? Who should give in?" Emu replies, "The heart of Elbaf. If Harald hadn't failed back then, this would already be a conquered country." Page 8, we flash back to the moment of Gagabon's fall. Chopper says, "Damn, I jumped with such force that I flew. But stay calm, I can't let that guy die." Page 9, we see both of them falling among the underworld's mountains. Road and Loki say, "Looks like something fell. It was on the other side of the mountain." While Loki and Hajrudin argue about Harald, Luffy says, "Hey, Chopper just fell with someone." Zoro says, "Huh? I did hear a noise. Did you see something?" Luffy says, "No, I didn't." Zoro then asks, "How do you know it's Chopper?" Luffy, eating a piece of meat, says, "Someone very weakened fell with him." Sanji says, "Let's go find him right now." Page 10, Loki says, "Hey Gerd, is there something you want? Gold? Enemy heads? Tell me." Gerd says, "Loki, of course there's something I want, but I won't release your chain." Says, "Come on." Are you acting all proper now? Then the Den Mushi starts ringing. Hello, Lord Loki? Loki says, hello, Moza. I'm busy right now. Can we talk later? Moza says, we're also busy here. I just need to say one thing. All right, then speak softly. Moza says, earlier, I couldn't say it, but it seems I won't be able to use the Den Mushi for a while. Loki says, huh? What's going on now? Moses, at first I was scared, but over time our conversations became moments of peace, something priceless. So I just wanted to say one thing, thank you. Huh? But why? What's happening? Note, both Gerd and Goldberg seem interested in the conversation. Pages 11 and 12. Loki says, you? Don't tell me. You're going through another nightmare, are you? Moses says, I'm fine. Don't worry. Loki, concerned, says, where are you? For everything up to now, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Loki says, hey, wait, Mosago? Then we hear the gacha. Den Mushi hangs up. Loki says, damn, and you, what are you looking at? He says this to Gerd, who replies, so in the lonely world of the dead, you had a friend, a being of peace? Loki says, don't you dare tell anyone about this. Page 13. Luffy is in shock. What? This old man was part of the Pirate King's crew? A companion of Roger and Rayleigh? Hajrudin says, yes, he was one of the Pirate King's wings. In terms of strength, he was probably the number 3 in the crew. Even Shanks respects him. Then Gabun struggles to show 2 fingers, indicating he was the second strongest. Page 14. Hajrudin says, hey Gerd, prepare treatment. Yarsan is seriously injured. Luffy looks at the old man and says, hey Chopper, congratulations. You did a great job here. Chopper says, you idiot, it's not like I wanted to be praised. Chopper says, good thing he regained consciousness. Look, Luffy, up there it's chaos. The children were taken hostage, and even with few enemies, we can't react. There are still some rampaging monsters up there. Final page. We see a black thunderbolt. Yes, the same moment when Emu unleashed their Conqueror's Haki in chapter 1150. Gabun thinks, what an absurd Haki. Chopper says, anyway, Elbaf is in danger. Luffy then says, Chopper, that's enough. I understand everything now. Hajrudin says, everyone, to the elevator. Let's return to the Sun World. Then Loki, laughing, says, Jaha, so you need it, right? My power. Final text. Finally, they begin to move. Break next week. Closing. And that's it, folks. That was the narrated chapter. I always recommend reading the final version with the official translation. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. Thanks for watching, see you next time, and take care.